Welcome to DOL Dignity of Labor KTC series. Know the course, and today we have Abhishek with us, who is the graduate of civil engineering. Hi, Abhishek.
Hello, hope you're fine as well.
Yeah, thanks. Just to start off with, can you give us a brief introduction about yourself and what is civil engineering is all about?
Yeah, sure. So, hello, my name is Abhishek, and currently I'm an incoming graduate student at Stanford University. And I have graduated from NITT in 2023, post which I worked at a MNC called Schlumberger for around 6 to 7 months. And then, yeah, this is basically my introduction. And regarding civil engineering, I'd say civil engineering is basically a discipline which deals with mostly the designing, the construction, and the maintenance of primarily the built environment that you see with the naked eye, such as the roads, the buildings, structures, bridges, airports, and etc. So it is a very vast subject which involves a lot of sub-disciplines as well, and it's a very interesting subject to go with.
Okay, that's nice. And congratulations on your Stanford. That's nice to hear.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
you.
And assume if you say like you have almost covered the applications of what civil engineering is about, like whatever you see, which is wherever the construction
Mhm.
is happening, all the infrastructure starting from hyperloops to the smallest road that we happen to see, that is all there.
Right.
So according to you, what would be the prerequisites? Like assume if I'm in a 10th or 12th grade and I want to know
Mhm.
whether I'm interested towards it, should I select or deselect it? How do I do that?
Okay. Personally, according to my experience, like when I was preparing for my 11th and 12th standard, the subjects which deeply kind of interested me was the basic principles of physics. There were like topics such as work, energy, and
Hmm.
all the basic Newton's laws and stuff like that. I enjoyed solving questions in those particular things when I was preparing for JEE. And primarily when I did my undergrad in civil engineering, these were the subjects which kind of helped me to understand in depth, because it's just an advanced version of
Correct.
those subjects that you learn in class 11 and 12. So I would say if you are kind of into solving mechanics problems in your 11th and 12th, then probably civil engineering is one of subject that you will enjoy more in your undergrad.
Okay, nice. And as you said, mechanics is one of the core thing. So in the course of 4 years of civil engineering, you might have heard, you might have dealt with multiple subjects. Like there may be around 40 to 50 around subjects across 4 years. So if you can
Yes,
briefly
yes.
divide about like what are the lab oriented subjects and what are the theoretical, and in theory, what are the prime buckets that one would have when once they join civil engineering?
Okay, so to make it clear, the civil engineering is divided into various disciplines, and each discipline, sub-disciplines have like various courses that you will be dealing in your undergrad. So some of them include structural engineering, which include subjects like analysis of structures, dynamics, structural dynamics, and earthquake engineering, and topics like that. It also see basically every civil engineering goes a hands-on with the laboratory part, because once you touch the soil, that's when civil engineering starts. There is nothing like you just learn the theory aspects of it, and that just goes with it. So everything includes with laboratory, where you will understand more about how to deal with various stuff. For example, we have like for structural, we have like laboratory lab courses, which includes primarily like learning CAD softwares
Hmm.
like StatPro and various analysis softwares and etc. And this is one part of one discipline. And then we have like environmental engineering, where you deal with all water resource, hydration, irrigation, and then various other systems which involves environmental engineering aspects. This subject also has like a little bit of to do with biology aspect as well, if you are kind of, it's not like very much into it, but then you will enjoy while learning this subject.
Hmm.
And then you have transportation engineering. I think we don't need any explanation. We just see whatever happens, all the controlling traffic, how to design roads, how to design intersections and stuff like that. So transportation also has primarily so many sub subjects, deals with highways, pavements, and railways, harbors, and etc.
Nice.
Also, I think geotechnical engineering is also there, which primarily deals with whatever below the soil, like all the soil foundation, soil mechanics, all the stuff which is related to the soil. That is one thing. And so I would say civil is itself abroad, and then you have various things to choose which you are highly interested in. And some of the new concept, one of the new emerging subfields is like construction management, which is like kind of highly popular nowadays. And yeah, this is pretty much all the courses that you will see, like some of the courses you will see in your undergrad. And if you want to specialize more, you can do in your masters about various particular field. So this
Okay,
is like a good giveaway introduction for civil engineering.
nice. So across all these subjects, like, is there
Mhm.
any popular toughest subject across the candidates, or is there anything that, okay, if you do this before, you might not feel that as tough?
Okay, so for me, it is structural engineering because it was also one of my favorite, but it was one of the toughest. I got to know this because all my friends at NIT, they did not end up taking these courses because they considered it as tough, just because it involves high understanding of advanced math and
Hmm.
physics. So structural engineering deals with a lot of math, and you should be really good at calculations and stuff like that. So it's not something that you won't be able to do. It's something that comes out of practice,
Yeah.
and the student tend to get away from it. But personally, I love mathematics, and this is something that I was kind of also I even faced a lot of problems understanding concepts, and it was kind of tough to understand because I feel it was kind of something that I was learning at a master's level in my undergrad, all the
Okay.
structural courses, to be
Agree.
honest. And also which I enjoy the most. So for me, it worked. But yeah, for to go with it, it was kind of tough.
Okay. So if at all someone has to, like you said, understanding of those things is really difficult. So as we know that in an education system, it's a two-way thing. Like if the professor
Mhm.
is good and the student is also grasping the greater amount
Mhm.
of thing, you'll have that. Assume in any some other college where you don't feel like the faculty is not delivering much. So what should the
Mhm.
student should go have, and are there any other resources where I can or the student can get through these concepts? Which are those preferred
Okay.
ones?
I would say even at the most good IITs and NITs, which also comes with a handy good amount of the professors has like extreme knowledge. That is one thing. But for rest of the people, and even the people who are in the top colleges, they also go with other sources of preparation, such as good books. They prefer good books. And personally, what I did was to see a lot of YouTube channels. So
Okay.
YouTube has like amazing content which is related to civil engineering, and it also helps you with understanding various concepts. And that was something that I did during my undergrad. During what I say is like during I was part of COVID, so of course like
Understand.
YouTube was one of the major sources where I kind of learned a lot. So yes, YouTube is one of the thing, and great books. All the universities, they prefer some set of books that you can use to advance your knowledge. And also there are some of the online free courses that is available in various websites that you can take up to get a basic understanding about. For example, NPTEL also offers a couple of courses. So
Yeah.
if you really wanted to get into the subject from the good professors and good ideas, then I think these are the options that you have.
Okay, that's nice. So as you have completed your 4 years, okay, so
Mhm.
you might have certain regrets and you might had certain plans that you couldn't establish. Assume if
Yes.
you were guiding someone who is a upcoming civil engineer graduate, what
Mhm.
is the bookish formula you say, or ideal track that one should have by each year milestone types?
Okay, so I would say if I had to go back, in my first year of engineering, having thorough knowledge of what I have right now, I would probably. So basically, it's like the first year of engineering goes with learning all sorts of engineering
Yes.
branches. For example, you learn civil, mechanical, computer
Electrical.
science,
Yes.
electrical, and rest of all the subjects. So I would say first year. People say first year is not important, but for
Hmm.
me, I would say first year is very important because the entire world runs with interdisciplinary subjects. So just focusing on this, I was kind of a student who always focused on, okay, even electives, I'll be doing civil related electives because I can get more knowledge in civil engineering.
Okay.
But right now thinking about it, I feel okay, that was one of the stupid mistakes that I've ever done, because knowing all the other subjects have equal importance of how much you learn the same subject. So the first year you get to know about all the various subjects, try to get in touch with the other aspects also, so that you get more understanding. And second year, I would say choose topics which is kind of intriguing to you and you're curious about to know.
Hmm.
So to be honest, the university offers so many courses, abundance of courses, and it's up to you to choose the course. Although they have like a institute requirement courses, but all the other courses, it's in your hand. So you get to choose the subject that you are really interested about. And also in second year, from second year, I think one of the important thing is internships.
Mm-hmm.
So personally, I learned more over internships than attending classes. It's because during internship is where you get your hands on experience on various subjects.
Okay.
And as far as students are concerned, I think there are plenty of opportunities for internships. You can get a research internship, you can do it in abroad, you can do it in India, then you can do an implant trainee in various companies. During my undergrad, I did an implant training in L&T. So it was one of the good experience that I had with, where I got to know what actually happens in a company and what you're going to deal with.
Correct.
So that is one thing that I am really proud of. So internships and getting strong in your concepts, even though you do work, but if you have no knowledge, that doesn't make anything good.
Yeah.
So I would say have good knowledge in your subject. And CGP is just a scale of how the university measure of how well understanding you have. So all the people say CG doesn't matter, but personally I feel that even if you look at the campus placements, so even companies keep a certain cutoff for the
Benchmark.
CGP of
Yeah.
around 7.5 to 8.5. So
Correct.
at least don't just bluntly go around and have a very less CG. Have a safe CG so that you can jump into everything.
Yeah.
So that is one thing that you can focus on second and third year. More internships, more experiences. And final year, it's always that you can do a final year project with the professor, and you can have a thorough understanding about how it can how you can go from here. Like after graduation, what are the other options? You can search about all those things and you can get into it. So the 4 years is a good amount of time where you can really decide on where you wanted to go further and what you wanted to do also.
Okay, that's nice. And when you said by end of 4 years you'll have multiple options, like in general,
Hmm.
any undergrad has, three different categories that I would say. One, going into
Hmm.
jobs, either it's corporate or government, then
Yes.
higher studies, and then self-owned business, which is very less these
Mhm.
days. Agreed. So,
Right.
I guess you have chosen the corporate job as your choice. So,
Yes.
according to you, what are those, top 5 to 10 dream companies that a civil engineer should aim to get into the same disciplined job?
Okay. So in India, even if you just Google the top good companies in India, you will find L&T, Thornton Thomsetti, and Tata, and
Mhm.
all these companies has like they intake civil engineers in the beginning. So these are some good companies that to go with. And also, as you said, like the three different paths that people choose is like job, higher
Say,
studies, and the business sort of thing. Personally, even I was confused whether to go for a job of higher studies, because I was kind of interested in all the three, to be honest. Like I'm also
yeah.
interested in having a business also. So for me, I personally I was like, okay, let me just give try for all the three. Like
Mhm.
anyway, time is not like really a problem for me. So let me just get into a job, have understanding. Then if I not like it, if I want to grow more, then I'll go for higher studies. If it doesn't work out, then I'll start a business. So that's how a general route go for. So yeah.
Correct. Yeah. So, so once a civil engineer gets into any job, so what are the kinds of roles that one would get? Like,
Mhm.
generally soon after undergrad, you would be given graduate engineer trainee, right? Post that
Yes.
GET phase, you'll generally be handling a team, or does that have any other roles that you'll be offered with?
Okay, so generally after graduation, most of the students will get into a GET for around 9 months to 1 year,
Mm-hmm.
where they learn about what happens in the company, and then how's your as a like the daily happenings of a graduate engineer. After that, basically civil engineer is an exponential growth. Like the growth you have is very exponential. So some of the roles you end up as a structural engineer, I can say that there are options as like structural engineer, then senior structural engineer, and a growth like
Mm-hmm.
that. So that is
Mm-hmm.
like one of the path you can have. And secondly, you can also get into a project engineer where you deal with uh, construction practices from its inception to its end, about all the planning phases, scheduling phases, and all these things. So this is
Okay.
one of the side that you can get into. And also there are so many other aspects as well, because there is something called a surveyor. So
Mm-hmm.
we can get into that aspect, which is people don't recognize this aspect also. So a
Mhm.
surveyor also someone you can that is also a very good path to go with. And then even related to environmental engineering, people get into municipal the
Corporations and
area
all.
which is
Yeah, yeah,
corporations and all. We have like
yeah.
tremendous amount of opportunities there. And if you just look into it, the government of India has like highest amount of job openings for civil
Civil.
engineers. You can get into railways, you can get into the air industries and all. So
Yeah,
there are like so many options that you can step into, and it totally depends on what your interests are in your undergrad.
true that. So, assume if we stick to only the corporate jobs itself, which are being like through
Mhm.
campus placement, most of the
Yes,
undergrad colleges
yes.
do have this. So, what would be the expected CTC, like MN and Max, in both ranges?
Okay. Uh, One thing to know is that the field in civil engineering is exponential. It
Mm-hmm.
starts with, although something which might not be satisfied by the current people, as like the students are not satisfied with those
Correct.
amount,
Mm-hmm.
but one has to understand that it can go a lot high during
Mm-hmm.
the period of time. So personally, I feel the minimum that I would think is around 3 to 5 LPA is
Mm-hmm.
where people start off, and the maximum you can still go around 33 LPA, because I was one of the candidate who got 33 LPA in campus placement. So I think
Nice.
I'd say yes, it can go till that as well.
Nice. So, in the cases where after you got a job, you understand that you want to learn more. So, what are the further divisions or further disciplines where you want to do an MS in civil engineering itself? Like, what would be the like top 3 or 4 popular choices generally civil engineers go for?
Okay, so generally the people that I've seen going for masters is highly in construction management.
Mm-hmm.
It's because a lot of tremendous opportunities are there with a very good pay, and it has a potential.
Correct.
So, and it's also booming in the current decade. So
Yep.
I would say construction management, MS in construction management, something people are really focused upon right now, along with some of the very core branches such as structural engineering,
Mm-hmm.
geotechnical engineering, and transportation engineering. So people do MS in these subjects as well, as to focus more on the core domains.
Nice. Uh, like assume that
Mhm.
the technology is going at a very fast pace, and
Yeah.
we don't see that civil engineering is not a space where someone can replace, because you're the ones
Mhm.
who literally draw the plan and then make it.
Mhm.
We are not
Yes.
into that phase like a robot will come and make a house for me. Okay. So what would be your last advice for all the aspirant of civil engineers that um, you need to catch up, or what are the additional skill sets that they should gain, or what are the future endeavors that they should look forward for upcoming aspirants?
Well, regarding to question what you asked right now, I would say even at this current rate, I would feel that even robots can make buildings. Okay, that is one thing. So personally, what I experienced during my undergrad was the people who come into civil engineering are few people who hate computer science, or like who hate codings and stuff like that.
Okay.
But personally, I feel that as since the most advancements happens in technology also includes AI in it,
Yep.
and recently even in civil engineering there is like a separate subject which is evolving called as AI in construction, AI in civil engineering and stuff like that. So get hands on with various other softwares or like various other subjects. For example, machine learning, get in touch. I feel as you use calculator, it's like an application, right? So
Yes.
similarly, machine learning is also an application. You just learn
Correct.
it and you can use it through for your field. So I feel there are to get advanced in technology and to get in on the same pace of what is
Chasing
evolving. I
out.
would
Yeah.
yes, you can get in experience in the data science stream, as in like you can get some help from them. Use it as an application to civil engineering, and then that is one thing that I was really fascinated during my undergrad. And also know the basic skill set, because one thing that makes people unique even as a civil engineering is the knowledge of having other things in the same plate. So
Correct.
if you know for example, even if you just think about it, the software that we use like the stat pro, it is not created, I mean, although the basic root lies behind coding,
Yeah.
these are done by civil engineers as well, so civil and computer science engineers together. So it's crucial to understand that there are subjects which can highly impact civil engineering, and
Mm-hmm.
just just by learning civil engineering, there are options, but it is it's an unlimited option if you just learn more into it.
Right. So one last question, Abhishek. So as per the future market outlook for civil engineers, do you think people will stay more in India or should they reach out to abroad for better opportunities? Like, how does that go as per you?
Okay, so it's totally my personal opinion. I
Good,
feel
good.
that the people who graduate even from good universities in India, they end up getting paid around something which is kind of disheartening to them, because they feel that they have done all the efforts to get into this college, and then this is what they're getting from, not knowing that it all depends on the global market of how the world runs.
Correct.
So basically, Indians are really talented in looking for opportunities in which they are benefited a lot. And just because of different purchasing parity power
Parities.
between different countries, people prefer to go abroad for their higher studies, and then they prefer to work over there so that they get a lot of understanding also. And also goes with different
Criteria
things in
of
their.
individual choices. Correct.
Yes, yes, because some have want to have like a different work life balance, or like different
Lifestyle,
things,
all those.
lifestyles, and etc. So it depends. But as far as opportunities are concerned, India is a blooming country. It has a lot of potential. They need civil engineers for at least for like so many decades to go with,
Correct.
until India becomes some country like America. So even the highly developed countries need people, need civil engineers, because it's always glowing. That's
Yep.
why I say civil engineering is inevitable.
Yes.
So it just goes on.
Yep. Nice. Thanks a lot, Abhishek, for your valuable discussion and then, great insights about how the civil engineer's current future is going to be. Thanks a lot. Great to have you here. Yeah. And all the best for
Yeah,
your
it
career
was
at
nice.
Stanford.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me, and it was great to have a discussion
Yep.
about this. Yeah, thank
Thanks.
you, thank you.
Thanks a lot for all the viewers who have watched this episode of DOL. We would love to hear your feedback through comments. Also, please like, share, and subscribe to DOL. If you have any further queries, please reach out to us through email, LinkedIn, or TalkMate. We have attached the links below in the description. Thanks a lot.